أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. There's no God but you. Glory be unto you. Indeed, I was among the wrongdoers. وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. والحمد لله رب العالمين. Ameen. Rayan and Mariam, whenever you're ready, please begin. I think Mariam is going first.
Second sign. There are certain foolish people who, because they do not recognize the sun if they see it in a mirror, start to love the mirror. With intense emotion, they try to preserve the mirror so that the sun within it will not be lost. Whenever the foolish person realizes that the sun does not die on the mirror's dying and is not lost on its being broken, he turns all his love to the sun in the sky. He understands then that the sun appearing in the mirror is not dependent on the mirror, and its continued existence does not depend on it. It is rather the sun that holds the mirror and supplies its shining light. The sun's continuance is not dependent on the mirror. The continuance of the mirror's living brilliance is dependent on the sun's manifestation.
Oh man, your heart, identity, and nature are a mirror. The intense love of immortality in your nature and heart should be not for the mirror, nor for your heart and nature, but for the manifestation of the enduring one of glory, whose out of stupidity that love glory whose manifestation is reflected in the mirror according to the mirror's capacity. However, out of stupidity that love of yours is directed to other places. Since it is thus, say, oh, enduring one, you alone are enduring. That is, since you exist and are enduring, whatever transience and non-existence want to inflict on us, let them. It is of no importance.
And that is the end to the second sign of the 17th flash on page 185. Thank you, Rayan and Mariam. That was a very nice, lively, and loud reading. Only 2 paragraphs, but it seems like it's a lot been said. So I'm just going to ask anyone out there, anything that you took away from what was read, anything that was striking to you? If you want to share out, do not hesitate. Just raise your hand and express yourself out. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, we can, if not people are thinking, we can talk about the foolishness the author is talking about here. There are certain foolish people. Yeah, it's like an attitude, you're right. Certain attitude that if I'm not recognizing the sun, if I see it in a mirror, then I start to love the mirror itself. Well, I mean, I think he's pretty much mentioning the analogy of a mirror that is reflecting sunlight in it. So can the mirror be the source of existence of the sunlight? Anyone? If you see light being reflected in a mirror, do you think the light is coming from the mirror? No, right? Miriam from Ohio is saying no. It's a very obvious observation, but we have to make sense of really in terms of applying it to our lives. So the mirror is not the source of existence of the light, yet light is being reflected in it. So when the mirror breaks, is the light still in existence? And let's say I have other mirrors around me. So I have like a couple of mirrors here. Some light is reflecting in it. I see light reflected. One of my mirror breaks. So can I say that if the mirror is broken now, then there's no light in existence? So in the analogy, the answer is definitely no, because I see the sunlight, the same light being reflected in other mirrors. So, but the mirror is being used as a means to reflect the light. So if there was no mirror, then there would be no way for me to experience the light. So I need the mirror to experience the light. So that's just the analogy about how the author is starting this off with. There are certain foolish people who, because they do not recognize the sun, if they see it in a mirror, start to love the mirror. I think the question should be, how wrong can I go on with loving the mirror? Because yes, mirror is projecting light, but then how would I become foolish if I start to love the mirror? How would that be foolish if I'm loving the mirror? That would be the first question to start with. Does anyone has any take on this? Ali member, go ahead, please.
Just to start the interactive conversation, I love the young ones joining us here. So since yesterday, I feel very happy and keep smiling, sometimes laughing, because yesterday's discussion was so lovely. And Miriam from Ohio left us with saying, Jazakallah khair. So, but I really loved it. Since then, I say the way she said it in her young age, and also not very, very perfect pronunciation. But as she learned it, it was okay for her, of course. But it was lovely to try to learn certain, vocabulary of the Quran, actually. So it is nothing harmful at all, but useful as well. So we have to learn whether we can pronounce it perfectly or not, but we have to try, learn it. Maybe not in the class, in this discussion, because discussion is recorded, but in our daily life, definitely we should use it, especially with our family, always use it and learn how to say it perfectly. But it was so beautiful, lovely. I really loved it. And since then, I have been really smiling and laughing as I remember, as I saw her here. Okay. Now, let me discuss this matter in a very, very simple way. So no one says the light reflecting in the mirror, and I love this mirror. Maybe they say that what is interesting here, I also say that I love this mirror because it is perfectly reflecting the light, not because it is source of the light. This analogy, as you kept saying, as the hostess repeated a lot, that it is an analogy, it is an analogy. But analogy to what? So it doesn't mean that, let's stay on analogy for a while, because it must be clear in our mind what do we really mean. No, it doesn't mean that, no, we understood mirror is not the source of the light that it reflects. Okay, everybody does this, knows this. But it doesn't mean that since mirror is not the source of the light that we have to break the mirror down into pieces. I say, Oh no, why? Because if I break the mirror, I totally lose the light reflected in it. Although I am aware that the mirror is not the source of the light, but I have to respect and also take care of it, clean it, so that it will reflect even better. But we have to bear in mind that I am doing all this to the mirror, not that it is the source of the light, but it is helping me to receive the light through it, through reflection. What does it mean in our very practical life? Very practical life. Of course, everything, including ourselves, our feelings, and everything around, is reflecting some sort of qualities that they are doing, they are performing, they seem to be performing all these qualities, beauties, whatever they are, we are seeing here. We love them. For example, simple, of course, very simple example. We love the food because we see the quality of taste. It tastes delicious, so I love it. So when I use this analogy, oh, I like the food, but food is reflecting the taste in it, but this taste is not created, is not given existence, but by the food. Food is reflecting the qualities of the one who created the food with the taste in it. So I understood that I shouldn't really grasp the food and start kissing it and saying that you gave me the food, the sort of taste. No, it's not giving you the taste. It is just reflecting, transferring the taste to you as it is created with this taste. The taste is not from it, it is the quality of the creator of the taste or the food reflected through the food. So I have to protect the food, keep it clean, and get the taste as much as possible. But never forget, bear in mind that it's not from the food. That is the point. That is the message I got from this analogy. Respect it, keep it, take care of it, but remember, it is not the source. Don't forget. Unfortunately, not everybody is aware of this reality when it comes to our daily life experiences. In daily life experiences, some people, as the author says, whatever they are, whoever they are, there are ideas that approved or supported by some people. These ideas claim that nature itself is the source of the qualities it reflects to us, so that we want to use them, we want to benefit from them, we want to embrace them, we want to keep them, but not as a transferring means, but as the source of it. They say, oh, what I feel ashamed of using this word, but they say, Mother Nature is taking care of us. Mother Nature loves us. Sometimes gets angry with us, Mother Nature. So what mean? For example, when there's a tornado or the things that we don't like, I say, it is not treating me perfectly now. It is angry with me. No. there is a deliberate action there. The creator of that objects, because we know that these objects cannot give existence to themselves. Can you imagine that, for example, a delicious mango is giving the taste to itself from the wood of the tree and go to the root and the seed and the, can you imagine the seed and the, in the seed, there is the cell which has the code, which is called DNA. Everybody knows it now, even the not elementary school, even anybody, 5 years old onwards, everyone must have heard DNA. So they know something about it. So DNA is producing the taste by itself, as if DNA is acting with free will, knowledge, power, mercy, and DNA knows me that I need taste of food. So for human beings, for animals, I must make mango beautiful and also tasty. And also I have to grow it and get it ripe and then ready for human beings and animals to eat and enjoy it. What is DNA? DNA, the way a thing is created. It cannot really choose by itself. It doesn't have free will to choose to be in this way or another way. So I understand that mango and DNA itself are like mirrors reflecting the qualities of their creator. So I have to respect them. I have to keep them working nicely as much as my power of scope, what scope of my power allows me to do this. I keep them. So when I ate mango, I said, oh, I love the creator of the mango. And also I love mango because it transferred, it is employed to transfer the beautiful taste to me by its creator. If somebody, a postman brings you a good news, for example, a letter and a mail delivers it to your box and to your mailbox, you go out and say that, look, it is not you who is sending this letter. You are just transferring it and give a smack at his face. Why? Because he's not the one who sent the letter. We say thank you. Thank you for what? Thank you for bringing, excuse me. Thank you for bringing the letter, not as the one who writes, who wrote the letter. Bringing the letter, that's it. Bringing the letter, respect it so that it will bring it again. If the one who sends the letter sends it and mails it to you again, so that he will be happy to bring it. That's what we have to treat the people and our friends, our family members. We should respect them because what they do, they reflect the mercy. They reflect the compassion. You understand compassion, I think, everybody. Compassion, the lovable treatment of our parents, our friends, our relatives, whatever, neighbors. Thank you. So compassion. So we have to respect them because they are carrying the compassion to us. But they are not the source of the compassion. They are created. That's why we have to thank them, we have to protect them, but never, ever forget that their creator is the source of compassion, source of mercy. That's why We have to love the creatures. They call it nature. What is created around us, we have to protect them. We have to respect them. We have to keep them clean. Let them work perfectly. Don't pollute the air or water or oceans, seas. We shouldn't pollute them because they are carrying, they are the mirrors of the beautiful qualities manifested in them. But the qualities, we should always know that the qualities belong to their creator. The universe altogether is a mirror, is a mirror. Every single, for example, with small creature, a fly, an ant, is a mirror reflecting the qualities of their creator, how powerful he is, the qualities, sorry, the creator of the ant is. Look how clever they are, how nice they walk, they go here, search for food. Wherever they found food, they start eating and cleaning the dirt. But it is good for them because it is a means of food for them. But they are helping us. If we scatter the pieces here and there, we find that ants got together all together and started eating it. We get angry with ants, but they are sanitary guys cleaning our house. So if you don't ants, that's okay. That's okay. Don't get angry with them. They are doing perfect duty. That is mission is to clean it so that they are eating in the way they eat, they clean it. But if you don't want ants in your kitchen, in your room, keep it clean so they wouldn't come. There is no food, there is no job. They don't want wandering around like human beings without doing anything. So they go and search where they can find the food. So we love ants, but we may not like them in our house. So keep your house rather than getting angry with the ants. They are doing a very good job. So we have to love them, but knowing that they are employed by their creator. They are given this quality by their creator to clean it, and to act in this way, in the way that they are made, they are created, so that we will look at them and see them, how wonderful their creator must be. That is called belief in God. If there was no ant, if there was no mango, if there was no parents, etc., friends, if there was no universe, how would we know who our creator is? I mean, it's impossible to imagine. If there was no universe, I wouldn't be here either. But that's just assumption. Because of these beautiful creatures around us, that we come to know who our creator is, who the creator of all these things are, because the things we know that they cannot choose, they cannot know, they cannot communicate between themselves, but they are created in a perfect harmony in their actions, the way they act, but that is how they are created. This is the practical implication, no, application of this analogy in my understanding. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a beautiful explanation of the analogy. At this point, let's see if there's anyone who wants to say something. Miriam from Ohio, go ahead, please.
If we wouldn't exist here, would we exist anywhere else? Like if we didn't exist in this universe, would we still exist somewhere else or in heaven or something?
Interesting question. I don't know. So what I know, I'll just share out what I know. Like, right, I know that I'm in existence right now. I'm given existence. Here I am sitting in New York City, in the middle of, somewhere. I'm can see the sky. I can communicate with the sun and other conscious beings around me. Here I am speaking, listening, and breathing as well. I'm made to breathe. So all I know is that I'm given existence right now in this universe. And yeah, so far that's what I know about my reality. But let's see if there's anyone else who wants to answer Miriam's question. Ali Murmur, go ahead, please.
So I think this question is directed to me. So I understand the question. It is a very good question. If there was no universe, would I exist? No, we should not take this kind of assumptions. It is just an assumption. For example, if there was no ant, would you be able, so if somebody answers me, maybe the one who asked the question may answer, if there was no ant, would I be able to know the qualities manifested in the body of the ant? What do you think?
No.
No. So in order to understand, we have to assume that if there was no, for example, I'm sure your parents are taking care of you. Yeah. Now, I'm sure. So they do, as far as I know. All right. So you can say, oh, if there was no, if I had no parents, who can take care of me? So I have to understand the value of the existence of my parents, so that the one who I have to really love from deep down of my heart, the one who created my parents and employed them to take care of me. But at the same time, I understand the value of my parents. How did you understand it? By assuming that if they were there, you would have a very difficult time. So this is just an assumption. If there was no universe, you wouldn't be there either, but there is universe. So you cannot imagine this assumption in real terms. It is not, for example, if I hadn't, let's say, if I didn't have any pen in my hand, how would I write it? So I have to take care of the pen. Do you understand this logic? Although a pen is in my hand, now I'm taking notes as a result of our discussions. At the end of the discussion, I take notes and write them down in order to remember and go over them again to remember what we have discussed. So if I didn't have the pencil, how could I write it down on a paper? No, I said, oh, so the pencil is useful for me, precious for me, so I have to keep it. This assumption, so you exist, that's it. Universe exists, that's it. And ant exists, that's it. In real terms, we cannot say in real terms, if universe didn't exist. No, it exists, that's it. So take care of yourself, take care of the universe, benefit from it, use them as mirrors. But for imagination, we talk like this. So you cannot say that, for example, if there was no universe, you wouldn't be there. So I would be in hell, not in paradise. No. It is not real. You are here. That's it. Your existence here is real. You experience yourself. So don't imagine if there was no universe, how would you know that there is an akhirah, there is an hereafter? This is just to exercise our way of reasoning, how we should really think. Always we have to say, no, look, I have to appreciate for example, my friend, because if I didn't have this friend, I would be feeling lonely. So I have to appreciate it more. But in reality, you have the friend there. So appreciate your friend better, all right? So we cannot make up something and then take it as real and then make up another thing that we would be in paradise. If there was no universe, there would be no paradise either, because paradise is the result of universe. As far as we are concerned, if we didn't get the test here, education here, training here, how would I go to paradise? So it is, we have to be careful that while we are reasoning, we make imaginations, we make assumptions. That's it, only assumptions. Thank you.
And thank you for this. Are there any follow-up comments on this? Anyone wants to share something? Mariam and Rayan. Okay. So at any time, anyone, feel free to raise your hands. Mariam from Ohio, go ahead, please.
Because no one's saying anything, I'm just going to fill in the silence with my notes, if that's all right.
Of course, yes.
Okay. So for the second sign, my first note was, the mirror is not the source of what it is reflecting. In this universe, only our creator can be the source of everything. And questions like, if we don't exist in this world, would we still exist anywhere else? Or is there any other universe? Than this one? Has unknown answers, because they're just assumptions. That's all I have so far, though.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you for sharing those. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yay, Ali Murmur is applauding. Some friends here are applauding too. Good. HBZ is applauding as well. Everybody's applauding. Yay. No, it's good. Like, please keep asking your questions. It's helping all of us to think a little bit more into how we approach things and how we reason, and just help everyone put things into perspective. So let's see, the whole thing about the things are not the source of existence of their qualities. Let's hold on to that, because I see Tulu's hand raised up. Tulu, go ahead, please.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead,
Okay,
please.
cool. Thanks for everything so far. So I had a question. So, with regards to like the mirror, if what happens if, so I get the idea that we're seeing things in the mirror that we like, that we're using, and then that's like a reflection of the sun, and then the sun is really kind of like where we should focus our attention on. In the instance where there are things in the mirror that we're experiencing that we don't like, I can understand that we go back to the sun and ask, like, just using this as an analogy, we go back to the sun and we ask the sun for the source of existence, for help for this thing that we're experiencing in the mirror that we don't like. But then what next? So we ask the source of existence for help for this thing that we don't like. But then what next? What next? Especially what next if the thing that we don't like doesn't change? What happens? Like, what do we do? How do we continue in that kind of instance?
A good question. Ali Murmur, go ahead, please.
Tell us, thank you. Thank you. You made me laugh. As long as the things reflect in the mirror in our life is a mirror, isn't it? Exists that you don't like, something reflects there, you don't like, what are we going to do? You are going to continue not to like it. You know what? We forget that whatever is reflected in the mirror, let's say in life conditions, likable or dislikable, are detected by our mirror, ourselves. So ourselves is observing them, experiencing them, and reaching a conclusion. I like this, or I don't like this. Right? So when something is lovable, we try to get it, we try to be together with it, because the sense of love within us is a way of teaching from my creator of my feelings of loving, feelings of not loving, liking or not liking. The same thing, same source is reflecting in my feeling, saying that, okay, I'll use my name, Ali. Don't like this, run away from it. Or Ali, like this, try to get it. So both of them, whatever is reflecting in my environment, in the interactions that I am getting, I am being in touch with the people, etc. I am learning. I said something to somebody and it hurt his feeling. I say, oh, I didn't like it because I don't want to hurt anyone. This feeling which is reflecting in my own mirror, says, this is wrong, run away from it. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. But I may say, oh, I am educating myself, or admitting that I am a mirror, my creator of this sense is educating me what I should like, what I should not like, so that I will interact with the world. If everything was lovable, how can I train myself? How should I choose between this one or that one? Everything is perfect. So by choosing, I am training myself. For example, if there was no ignorance at all, not knowing something. How could I go and educate myself and learn it so that in my mirror, the capacity that I have to learn will develop, improve, and then I will fulfill the purpose of my existence, because the way I increase my qualities give me the gives me the opportunity to get to know the existence of this quality. For example, if there was no learning, how would I know that my creator is the teacher, educator? How would I know? So if everything, definitely there is no free will, everything as it is, how would I know that the things around me are not the creators? Because I don't know whether they have qualities or not, because I'm not choosing. So in order to be able to choose, we have to be given alternatives. In order to have the alternatives, we have to have different varieties of options in front of me. That's why sometimes in the mirror, reflect something, it makes sense to me. Sometimes in the mirror reflect something, I don't like it. Sometimes other way around, I like it or it makes sense, so that I will learn what to escape from, shun away from, or what to approve, confirm, and like it. That is how the training goes on. The teachers know it. They give sometimes tricky questions in order to agitate the minds of motivate the minds of the students, so that the students will register what they learn. Oh, it is not this, but this one is right. That one is wrong. So how we develop, how we improve our capacities. So if something that we don't like reflects in the creation, whether in ourselves and outside as well, we should keep disliking them. Keep away, use our free will to keep away from them. Try to keep away from them. That's what we are learning, what is good, what is bad. This is the way to improve ourselves. Thank you. I don't know whether it makes sense to anyone here or not, but for me, this is the answer.
Thank you. It makes sense to me.
All right, wonderful. Anyone else wants to share something? Yeah, this is interesting, the mirror part, where I should not forget that I myself am a mirror, and definitely the qualities that are being reflected around me is my mirror is able to detect it as well. So the sense of like a negative quality, then I experience it, then I have to keep checking my mirror constantly, and yeah, make an analysis of within my own self, with why am I made to dislike this, why am I made to run away from this. Yeah, I think that's is the human journey at the end of the day, like personal uh, striving or endeavor to make sense of one's feelings that are imparted onto the individual. So this is, I think, an interesting aspect of the analogy as well. Um, go ahead, Tulu. I see your hand up.
Thank you. And apologies for asking another question very quickly, but I had a question around so I think I understand and I agree with the idea of continuing to not like it. So like I see something in the mirror that I don't like, I was made not to like, and I asked the source of existence, my source of existence, for assistance in changing this thing I don't like, and it doesn't change. I continue to not like it, and I continue to ask the source of existence to help me with it. I wonder if there's something around the idea of like an attachment to an outcome, and what that does for me specifically. So for instance, I'm making it up, say for instance, there's a job that I want, and so I don't like what I'm currently doing and I want to be doing something else. And so I ask the source of existence to help me to get that. And I'm not getting it, and I keep asking and I keep not getting it. And I keep asking and I keep not getting it. I wonder if there's something around the idea of in myself, I have attached the idea that I want this specific thing. This is what I want. I want this, and I don't like what I have, and I want this thing, and I really, really, really want it. I'm just trying to get my head around the idea of my my possible fixation on a specific outcome, and how to think about not. So, for instance, how do I get myself to not like be depressed if this outcome that I want doesn't happen? Because I'm saying I want this thing, and I want it, and I just want it, and I don't care, and I just want it from now till the end of time. But see, I'm not getting it. How do I think about removing myself from the outcome whilst continuing to ask and continuing to like use what's given to me in the order to try and get it? If I'm not getting it, how do I remove myself from I need this specific thing to specifically happen for me? I'll stop there.
Thank you for this very practical human questions, very applicable to people who live in big urban settings. I would say it's all around us. We are bombarded with this. It's like a flood. We have expectations. We want to achieve certain goals. This is it. This is exactly what I want. Sometimes we achieve it. Sometimes we do not get exactly what we expected. And your point about the concern that I've been trying to get this job, let's say, no, I just want this job and I'm really doing everything within my means. I'm following the order. I'm, going to all these networking events. I went to the 3rd tier interview. Now, this is it, but no, it doesn't happen. Then another round, the same thing. I'm really, my heart and soul, mind is attached to this specific job. That's it. I want job X. Why? And I keep doing it and I'm still not getting it. To me, I would say it's all about the ending up reading myself in terms of, okay, what is it again that I'm expecting from this endeavor? Like I need to reorient my goals, like re-question it, like why exactly do I want this particular thing? And within my available opportunities, I follow the order. I'm like, okay, I can either go route A and I'll still get that job X. Or what? Guess what? I'll go route B and I can end up with job X as well. But guess what? I tried route A, but I was not able to get job X. So let me try route C. It seems like that's like a possible path again leading me to job X. and then this endeavor where I'm not achieving the end goal that I desire. But then I guess it all boils down to, I mean, I don't guess, but like really, like we think about it, like reading our own selves in terms of our feelings and expectation. What is it that I'm expecting, first of all, from job X? What will I get if I achieve job X, really? What is the source of existence of this thing that I want, or this feeling that I'm really, really looking into getting this? I mean, so to me, what the practical example you presented is, it's very, I mean, it's, you know, it's human. We all experience it. And so it's all about reading or self-analyzing or doing an introspective analysis of the self, of all my feelings that I'm looking for, pertaining to the existence of everything, even the existence of my feelings. Why am I inclined to getting this particular object X, for example? Like, what is it in it? If I get the object X, you know, how is it going to bring value to my existence? Will the object X make me a happier person, a better person? But guess what? I'm bound to die, and so will the job market might crash, and I don't know if job X will be in existence. So I don't know, most likely, like, it's all about reading creation, reading oneself, and reorienting one's expectation and goals that should pertain to the meaning of one's existence. And also, without losing track of, there are other venues, there are other options, like whatever is available to me, I'll follow the order. But definitely there are endless ways or avenues to get to different things. I mean, the universe is very vast and expansive as in, like, really, it's endless. It's full of opportunities. So I just need to also zoom out a little bit or reshift my focus area. I don't know if that helped, but that was just my take on your practical example. Before, let's be given to have people share their ideas and thoughts. Miriam wrote a couple of things. Miriam from Ohio, do you want to express yourself out, please? Read out your comments.
I couldn't really understand if what he was saying was a question, but if it was, I understood his question as, how do you get yourself to not be upset when you don't get what you want? And I think the best you can do is just say that your creator knows best, for the best that's for you. And being upset is normal for all humans, and trying to block upsetness out is impossible, because we're created that way, and there's nothing we can do to stop a natural feeling.
Thank you, Miriam, for sharing your comment. I'm gonna pick up from the part you said that being upset or sad is part of our education in this universe. So keyword here is education. Yeah, we are all here to be educated in this school of the universe. I know we say this like constantly, and sometimes it becomes very casual, but like lately I myself personally have been reflecting on what does it mean actually to be educated in this universe. And I think we can all like reflect on this personally for our own selves. Like, I'm being educated here in every way possible, with all the expectations I have, with all the feelings. And just like Miriam said, I get upset with not getting what I want. I mean, and it's part of, you know, when you set your expectations onto something, obviously one does end up getting disappointed. But at the end of the day, if we again reassess the whole structure of how things are coming into existence, then you know, it's a matter of finding out also in terms of, am I am I cognizant of the sun that is being reflected in my mirror? So yes, I'm given certain feelings. And what is the source of existence of this feeling? Is it my cell, my particles? Is it, what is the cause of existence of these feelings that I find myself in? And so if I am able to connect my feelings to a one that must be the source of existence of this universe, then that's like a start of a communication. In the analogy, like getting to know the sun, and where I realized that the main object of worship is the sun, but at the same time I need the mirror, because without the mirror I will not be able to get the light of the sun reflected in the mirror. So I see 2 hands up. I know Zafar, go ahead, and then we can give it to HBiza.
I just wanted to add to what Miriam said about the Creator knowing what's best for us better. It's a tough pill to swallow, the idea that I don't know what's best for me, because in my practical life, I behave as if I know what's best for me. How can I convince myself that that's not the case? Something that comes to my mind is I can reflect on past experiences where I didn't like a certain thing, and after the passage of time, and I look back and I say, oh, I didn't like it initially, but I'm glad it turned out that way because I learned this, or I got this through that experience. So that's one thing that can convince me that when something that I don't like happens, it may still be good for me. The other thing that we can use to convince ourselves is that we think we know ourselves, and I think that's not totally true. We can look at the responses, unexpected responses we may give to certain events, and then there'll be situations where that those sides of us that were unknown to us will be revealed to us, leading us to say, oh, I didn't know I would do that. I didn't know I would give such a reaction to that. I didn't know that I had such potential, and so on. So these are also experiences that can tell us that we actually don't know ourselves very well, but we still want the best to happen for ourselves. And so we have that need. And to the extent that we get to know that the one that who gives existence to this universe and us in it is compassionate and is all knowing and is all caretaking and so on. In that sense, we can also say that that one my maker must be taking good care of me, much better than I can take care of myself. So I can be at peace in saying that he knows what's best for me than I know for myself.
Thank you, Brother Zafar. That was a good point. So it's all about reading oneself and getting to know really what am I in my existence, and what exactly is the source of my existence. Thank you. HBiza, go ahead, please.
Assalamu alaikum. I wanted to thank our friend who asked the question here. And as I was listening to everybody's answers and thinking about the question as well, parts of the text that we read today attracted my attention in a different way. Although it's I'll be reiterating same points that have been made, but hopefully from a fresh angle, at least for myself. So in the beginning, it says, because one does not recognize the sun, if they see it, there are people who do not recognize the sun. If they see it in a mirror, they start to love the mirror. And with intense emotion, they try to preserve the mirror so that the sun within it will not be lost. And then towards the end of the second paragraph, it says, that love of yours is directed to other places other than the sun. Since it is thus say, O enduring one, you alone are enduring. That is, since you exist and are enduring, whatever transience and non-existence want to inflict on us, let them, it is of no importance. So the way I understand this in regards to the question that was asked is, what is it that I'm trying to, that I have this intense emotion for, that I'm trying to attribute a certain quality to? So for example, let me make it more concrete. If I want a particular job, right? Or let's make it even simpler. I have chocolate ice cream, but I want vanilla ice cream. In my wanting of vanilla ice cream, I don't want chocolate ice cream. And in my dislike of chocolate ice cream, I want vanilla ice cream. There's a preference that I find myself with. And the reason that I want vanilla ice cream is because I think that when I have it, it will somehow contribute to my level of happiness. Otherwise, I would not want it. There's some sort of, the expectation there is that when I get that, then I will be happy, or I will be happier. It will give me something that chocolate ice cream cannot give me. So whatever it is that I want, I associate it somehow with, in one way or another, it's associated with my level of happiness. It doesn't matter if it's ice cream or my job or something else. I think that I'll be happier in that state of being. Whereas, from what I understand, I need to have this relationship with job preferences or ice cream. I need to be able to say, I like this one and I dislike this one, so that I can recognize that the one who gave me these preferences, that I have been made to like this and not like the other thing, is the one who can actually fulfill my desire for happiness, which the job looks to that I want, or the flavor ice cream that I want looks to that state of happiness. So if I try to seek that state of happiness in the job, that's my expectation essentially. Like, I think I'll be happier, right? In one way or another. If I attribute the quality of happiness to that thing that I want, then in a way, then I'm like that person in this text, that because I don't recognize the sun in my feelings, I look at the mirror and I start to love the mirror and I say, no, I want that one. I want that one. Whereas the purpose of the relationship that I have with the mirror, with the different mirrors that I interact with, is to recognize the source. And if I know that no matter whether or not I have chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream, of course, it's one thing to have a preference. I'll always prefer one over the other. But to recognize the fact that no matter what I have, in this preference, in being able to prefer one over the other, I'm actually preferring a state of happiness, which looks to the source of existence of happiness. And if I can connect my existence to the source, then it doesn't matter what type of ice cream I essentially have, because the source of it is happy, if that makes sense, or the source of it is secure for me, is safety for me. So when it says, since you exist and are enduring, whatever transience and non-existence want to inflict on us, let them. It is of no importance. It doesn't matter if, I mean, it doesn't mean don't try to go get the better job. Of course, I mean, do whatever is in your means, follow the order of the universe. I'm made to prefer one over the other. But at the end of the day, that's not the point of preferring one over the other. It's not so that I can have X, Y, or Z. It's so that I can recognize within this preference is the one who has made me to prefer one who is enduring, who is not transient like the ice cream that's melting in my hands now, who is able to um, meet my expectation of security. And Mariam here says, I'm sorry, I'm gonna just read this out loud. Why do we look for happiness and not sadness? It's just in the state that I find myself, whatever I think that I look for, whatever I seek, I always seek it because I associate it with happiness. But to say, why do I prefer happiness over sadness? I just find myself created it with this preference. It's not like I choose it. I'm just made to choose it, or I am made to prefer it. But in this preference, I'm made to look for the one who can fulfill or meet my expectation of eternal happiness, of eternal satisfaction, of eternally being in a state of peace.
Thank you, HBesa, for the comment. While you were speaking, you brought up about the preferences that are available to us in terms of human options. And then the whole point about, we love things, we set goals, I want this, I want that. And just wanted to basically add on to what you said, because I was thinking about the sense of love itself, because at the end of the day, I even end up attributing the sense of love to myself as it belongs to me. So really, if I'm able to read myself and make this connection that this sense of love does not belong to me, it's given to me. So then that should really help me solve all kind of problems. Doesn't matter whether I get strawberry ice cream, vanilla, or chocolate. Ice cream is ice cream. We all love ice cream. At the end of the day, it's ice cream, right? But just me knowing that the sense of love does not belong to me, and it's not also does not belong to anything of this universe, then that should really help me or put me in a communication with the source of existence of this sense of love. And like ice cream is a mirror, correct? Yes. And you have to respect that, yes. And so connecting this back to the point you brought up about the author sharing that whatever transience and non-existence want to inflict on us, let them, it is of no importance. Because hey, guess what? I found the source of my existence through the sense of love that is being given to me. And that's at the end of the day what matters, because that's what I need to stay connected with because I found the source at the end of the day, and that's it. So thank you for sharing your comment, and that was just a addition that I was thinking about, like reading creation, reading oneself. It becomes important. I no longer need to scream for ice cream, for the source is eternal. Right. Good one. Thank you. Are there any comments from anyone here? Ali Murmur, go ahead, please.
Is it time now? I don't know whether our friend asked question is satisfied with the answers, or still he has some further questions maybe, or some more complicated aspect of it. So if he is happy with what was said so far, Can we move to the beginning of the second paragraph? I think this is the main purpose of the second sign. If the moderator thinks that it is time, I have some notes on it.
Yes, go for it. And I feel our friend is also so far okay and good. So let's move on.
Oh, okay. So I think the conclusion about the question I got from here and there is that if I am a student in a school, in an education system, and teacher comes and teaches every day, teaches, and I say, I want to get the best degree. I have to be successful in the class. And turning to the teacher and keep requesting the teacher to give me the best mark, best grade. Maybe the one who asked this question can answer. Do you think because you keep asking the teacher, give me the best grade, give me the best grade, give me the best grade, do you think teacher will give you the best grade? Talib?
Can you hear me?
Yes, of course.
Hello?
You speak. Yes.
No. I think if I just ask, no, I won't get it. I think
Okay.
I'll have to follow the order.
Yeah. So you are in the education system, aren't you? So you and I. So
Yeah.
the way that the teacher keeps teaching is an answer to your request from the teacher. Man, your position is to learn. You are a student. I am the teacher. If you learn it, I will give you the best. If you don't learn it, I won't. So what I gathered from this example, simple example, that if I don't like drinking, if somebody, but let me talk on my name or on my behalf. So I don't like drinking, but I'm addicted to it, which is, by the way, I think everyone is aware that real pandemic of our time is addiction to drugs, any kind of intoxicants, real endemic. So a pandemic everywhere, and maybe millions of people are dying out of it. I mean, so if I say that I want to give it up, of course, everybody said you have to follow everybody before me. We have to follow the way the teacher, educator of this universe, he put me as a student in the school of this universe, keeps teaching me, it is bad, you have to quit, you have to quit, you have to quit. How? Just do something that I provided for you. For example, get an advice and get a good friendship around you, etc. Change your atmosphere. Try to follow the rules and principles which are created, which I have provided for you in the universe. So this is the way to ask. But at the same time, we should never forget that while I am listening to the teacher, doing my assignments in time, and giving the best answers to the question that the professor or the teacher asks me, at the end, I give the paper with full answers and say that, now, teacher, please give me the best result. Look at my paper. And I'm expecting a best result, best grade. Come on, thank you. But without giving the paper in a with full best answer, to expect an answer and a perfect result, best result, teacher will not answer. Now, of course, I'm combining all of them now. One of our friends again said, you know, when you realize that, for example, you mean I, in the example, when I realize that I'm addicted, I have to look for means for it, possible or available for me, provided by my teacher of the universe. So while I'm doing all this, I learned that, look, I have to obey the order because I am not the owner of the creator. I cannot create any result that I want. I have to go and ask for the creator to give me the result. Because in the education system, teacher gives the result. Teacher gives the result. I may think that I did the best, but if I made a mistake in my answers, I don't get full grade, full mark, but I get a bit less. I started, where did I make the mistake? Go and ask the teacher or read your paper, answer paper. You will see that, this is a mistake. This is the best way of learning. This is how we are here. So when I have to when I am interacting with the creator of the opportunities, facilities, and my feeling that I don't want to be addicted, it is the best result that I got by saying that I am attempting this and please the creator give me success in my attempt. This relationship is the best result of this kind of thing. Yes, Tom, your mic is open.
No,
Okay.
sorry, but yes, I'm agreeing.
Okay, so I think either somebody wanted to ask to speak maybe, or we can go
Sorry,
to second paragraph. Yeah.
so
Second
in
paragraph.
summary,
Yeah.
Ask the source of existence, but at the same time, follow the order at the same time.
Correct. But this is the
Thank
way
you.
we acknowledge the creator, that he is the one who creates everything. He is the one who creates the whatever we are addicted to, alcohol. For example, he is the one who creates the means. He is the one, the sense within me, which doesn't like being addicted to something in this world. He is the one, the source of existence of everything. So we belong to him. That is the purpose of my existence, to acknowledge my creator. So this paragraph, second paragraph, open your heart, yourself. Identity means your own being, and nature are a mirror. That was the purpose of the mirror example, mirror metaphor. So why? The intense love of immortality in your nature and heart. I want to be eternally happy. I want to be not, I want not to fall into non-existence. That is in me. I want to be ill. I want to, I don't want to get old. I don't want to die. Why? I want to have an young, energetic life with no end, always enjoying, entertaining my existence. That is in me, and the author says, which is true really, a mirror. This feeling is a mirror. Yeah, but this mirror doesn't show to yourself. So it is a manifestation place for the one who created you with the need to have eternal happiness. Yes? So it means, he says, come on, seek the eternal happiness and look who can provide the eternal happiness for you. Now the mirror, in this mirror of my feeling, lets me know that I need eternal happiness and I must get it from somewhere. So who can give it to me? You say, oh, it's very easy. The question is very easy. Whoever gave this need, this feeling in my being, must be telling me something. Yeah? Because I didn't create this feeling. I didn't create this hope for an eternal happiness. I am created with these qualities. So it is very important for me to realize that very existence of the need for eternal happiness is a mirror pointing that the one who creates this feeling is the source which is going to fulfill it. That is the purpose of having this kind of feelings in our beings. Now, we shouldn't say that I love eternal happiness by myself. I am not the mirror. It means I created myself, as if people don't say it's clearly I created myself, but as if I created this sense within me. So I must reach the end and be successful in getting eternal happiness. Is there any way to get eternal happiness? No. But what we can do, we can just keep prolonging our life rather than living in this world 60 years, but living it 80 years, but at the end, still this expectation will fail in success. It wouldn't succeed. It won't succeed. It means I cannot fulfill these expectations. So I have feeling, I cannot satisfy this feeling. What does it mean? It's a beautiful creation that I have the feeling, but I cannot do it. And is there anything in the universe, any of us, anything, anybody in the universe which can satisfy this feeling? Come on, look. Give you eternal happiness? Anything? Eternal happiness? Nothing in this world is eternal anyways. How can they provide you with eternal happiness? If they were able, they would make themselves eternal. But they are subject to continuous change. It is a beautiful subject that we have to utilize, we have to use for ourselves. We have to say that, look, do I need eternal happiness? Do I escape from death? Do I escape from illness? Why do you think everybody is now not going out and not going to work, and many places are closed? Why? People don't want to die. People don't want to get ill, sick, and die. That is what our reality is. Why don't we use it as a mirror rather than say, I don't want to die? But anyway, if you claim that you exist yourself, you should make yourself eternally happy as well. But you can't, I can't, you can't, no one can. So there is something there, a news, a message, a call to wake up, to understand and accept our reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Ali Marmar, for the explanation. Yeah, with this sense of ownership as well. Am I the source of existence of my feelings, or am I the source of existence of my existence, really? That can, I mean, yeah, we have to question that part as well, because otherwise, if I am the source of existence of my feelings, then I should be able to provide myself with eternal happiness. It's a good point to also bear in mind about the ownership of things. Let's see, we have some things here written down in the chat box. Mariam from Ohio, go ahead and read your comments, please.
So what I was saying was, while Adidada was talking, I just something came a bit off about the example. So our about our creator knowing what's best for us. In the learning setting, we know what is best for us. Getting the A is always going to be best for us, because that's the highest score that you can get, and that's what everyone always wants. And it shows your intelligence. So the A is always best in that setting, but in this world, the A is not, I mean, one thing cannot always be the best for you. So like, I gave an example in chat about getting a dog. You might really want that dog, but in the end, the dog might have a sickness that is not curable. And you can't get rid of the dog, and so it turns out that getting the dog wasn't best for you, even though you really, really wanted it. So in this world, it's different than just in a learning setting.
Thank you for your comment. It's 5:34. We are at time. I was just checking to see if there's anyone who wants to make a last comment. Feel free to express yourself out or share out a little something. If we haven't heard your voice, feel free to raise your hand. Okay, so silence means that this is it for today. Inshallah, next week we will continue on with the third sign. The author mentioning about what it's like to live in this universe as if we're being suffocated in a prison. So inshallah, next Sunday we can dig into that. Thank you all for your participation today. All valuable comments. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Glory be unto you. We have no knowledge save except that which you've taught us. Indeed, you're all knowledgeable, all wise. Wa akhiru da'wahum anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bi hurmati Surah Al-Fatiha. Ameen.